Fire that puppy up.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, coming off a hot race at Kansas. Jamie, what's going on, man?
Oh, hold it, man. Hold it. I got a bet I lost. I need to... Pepsi Man!
All right, Jamie's going to drink the Pepsi from the bet that he lost that he didn't drink last week because he forgot to bring the Pepsi.
Let's see if it makes any noise.
I don't think so. I didn't hear nothing. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jamie hates Pepsi, by the way, so
but I lost a bet.
I bet that's the last time you'll bet against Dale Jr. I mean, he said Dale Jr. was going to suck at North Wilkesboro, and then he
It
finished
tastes
third.
like cough medicine. How? I know there's Pepsi fans out there. You might listen to us.
I don't like Pepsi.
I don't know how you do it.
I'm a Coke fan, but I'm from Georgia, so, you know, Georgia's the home of Coca-Cola.
It tastes like...
Where's Pepsi from?
North Carolina. It tastes like... Have you noticed if you wait too long to eat your Pizza Hut pizza, which is owned by Pepsi too, by the way? Well, Yum Brands, which is owned by Pepsi.
Oh, I didn't know that. We had Pizza Hut yesterday.
Well, let it sit there and get cold in the box
Detroit style's back.
and eat it again. It'll taste like the cardboard, even reheated.
Really?
It's weird.
I haven't had that problem because I can eat pizza Hut for like 3 days straight, even old pizza.
Eat it cold or reheat it?
Well, it depends. I like to eat it cold for breakfast, and I like to warm it up for dinner.
Yeah, but you might take the extra slices and put them in tin foil or plastic and throw it in the freezer.
No, not the freezer. I throw it in the refrigerator.
You gotta let
In a
it.
Ziploc bag.
You gotta let it percolate there in the box.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to leave it out overnight in the box.
Or you can just drink a Pepsi.
It'll be like salmonella, right?
My sickness, brought to you by Pepsi. You could get a Pepsi and it tastes just like 2-day-old deep dish Pizza Hut pizza
See, I disagree.
sitting in the cardboard. I like the pizza, but you can't let it get cold.
I'm just going to say, when I was in my early 20s, I'll probably eat some Pizza Hut pizza that had been sitting out in the cardboard for 3 or 4 days, and I was probably happy to eat it.
That's because you were jonesing for food. You're like, hey, man.
Or I was
No, I'm
just that hungover.
starving, dude. It's been like, I don't know, 2 buds ago.
It used to be like, you get to that point where you drink so much, you're like, okay, I need bread. You know, that was when you knew it was going to be a bad
I
morning.
wasn't talking drinking, but, you know.
That's how I always knew. Like, when I got to that point where in my head, it's like you need bread and water. That's like, it's going to be a bad morning, and it's 3 in the morning, and you're like preemptive, right? So you start drinking water and eating bread. Like, that's going to help anything. Then you just wake up the next morning having to pee really bad with bread. Dry cotton mouth from bread.
Does the bread come out of the pee hole?
Oh, God.
Oh, I thought maybe you knew from experience. I don't know.
No, you got bigger.
Getting all worried there.
You got bigger problems. Well, since the rest of America probably knew this, but Jamie apparently didn't. Yesterday was September 11th. So we're going to start the show off by just remembering everybody that we lost that day, and thoughts and prayers still go out to all those families.
When they asked the first responders and military veterans and active military to stand up, I was just sitting there at church going, this is nice.
It's really
Wow.
nice. It's amazing. It's so
Show
nice.
them a little respect. Sure.
It's so nice
And
you chose Sunday to show a little respect to the military
I don't
today.
think I saw. Oh, you know why? The Queen died.
So
That's all. I turned on the news when I was getting ready for church, and Queen's dead. Queen's dead.
She died like Friday, though.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Wasn't it?
See, I don't believe
Thursday ago.
any of the news, any of it. And I just,
She
it's
could
just,
have. I mean, she was 96.
it's
She
just
died
background
of old
noise.
age, right?
I don't think she disappeared like Elvis.
The Queen's one of those, like, every year when they announce her birthday, I go, oh, she's still alive. Like, I'm always amazed she's still alive.
You know, while I was watching all that stuff, they kept showing
Same thing
her.
I say when they show Biden on TV.
She looked badass in her purple dresses.
The Queen,
Yeah.
she was a badass.
It looked like the colors of Easter she always wore. She was very well dressed.
Was it the same picture?
No, because they were different purples and blues. I don't know what you'd call it. When you go to the Bahamas, they got those bright houses. Greens, reds, purples.
I saw a picture of Ozzy Osbourne with the Queen.
Wow, really?
Well, he's from over yonder.
I know. Is he knighted? Is he Sir Ozzy?
No, but Elton John is, right?
I don't know.
Sir Elton?
I don't know.
Isn't Lewis Hamilton? Wasn't he knighted too?
Probably.
Is he from over there?
Yeah. I'd knight him. He's a badass driver.
Well, Elton John could play the piano.
Driving a Mercedes, an F1.
Elton John?
Yeah, wasn't he?
While playing the piano.
Did he sing a song about it?
Rocket Man?
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
That was about F1?
I think so.
Do you remember where you were at on September 11th?
Yes.
Where were you at?
At home. Waiting to go to work.
Oh, yeah.
And then I didn't go to work.
So I was in high school.
I was like, holy, that's effed up.
September 11th was senior skip day of my senior year of high school. So I had no intentions of going to school. So we had all like stayed up partying all night. So when it all happened, we were still awake. And I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't think it was legit. Then my mom called and was like, you're going to have to get home. I'm like, I can't come home right now,
There's
Mom.
planes dropping out of the sky.
And I don't know if it's real or not. So I was hanging out with my buddies on senior skip day.
I called in sick.
I bet a lot of people did.
I am not coming in. And they didn't even ask for an excuse. They're like, yeah,
us either.
Ain't nothing happening here.
Yeah, we're not working either.
Hey, well, since this is a 20-ouncer, will 10 equal a full?
Oh, you're good, man. I wouldn't make you drink all that. That's nasty. I wouldn't drink all of it. Oh. Now it's flat.
It tasted flat from the beginning.
There's some water.
I'm going to wash it down with the water.
Wash that crap down with some water. Some war butt and water. All right, first question of the show.
Oh, God.
What's harder, hitting a 400-foot home run, kicking a 40-yard field goal, or driving 500 miles in the new Cup car? What takes more skill and talent? Which one of those?
Well, according to the last few races, I would say driving that new car.
That's what I was going to go with.
Random tire pops.
Well, I mean, you got 500 miles in a car at 190 miles, 180,
running what?
170, whatever
7,000, 8,000 RPMs. High revving.
And they say that this car is real, like, iffy. You turn it just a little bit, it's going to jump. So, real sketch. Have you ever tried to kick a field goal?
Yeah.
I can't do it. That's a lot.
You just weren't close enough.
Well, a 40-yard field goal is what I got written down here. So,
oh, I could kick a 40-yarder. There's
no
way. 40-footer, maybe.
Yeah, 40 feet.
40 inches.
Maybe.
You might be too close at 40 inches. It'd have to go straight up and straight down.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even like I used to, like, when a guy would miss a kick from like the 20-yard line, then when you stand on the 20-yard line and see how far that is of a kick, really, in reality, now they're professionals or college, whatever, they shouldn't be missing those. But I think you're right. I think driving a car would be harder.
You know, this reminds me of a joke I heard at church. Not really, but I just want to tell a joke because it's kind of funny. So this lady, she retired. She lived. She had a good job. An attorney, let's say.
She retired.
She was a widow. Her husband had died. She's still young enough to have fun. They lived on a golf course, but she never played. Her husband did. And she decided, hey, I need to get back out there and meet some people. I can't just sit here and grieve. So her neighbor said, hey, why don't you go take some golf lessons from the pro? Start showing up. They'll just pair you with a group and you'll meet those people. And she goes, that's a good idea. So she went to the country club and signed up for golf lessons. But she just kept coming for the golf lessons. Finally, the pro said, hey, look, if you don't get out there, practice is just practice. You need to go play around. And she said, well, there's not a lot of people here. And he's like, well, your current skill set, that's a good thing. You need to play a few rounds. And then I'll start, because he was a starter that day too. He goes, I'll start pairing you up with people I think would be nice enough for your game. You can keep up. And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. So she went up to the first tee, teed up, nice shot. The pro's really proud of his skills at teaching. He's like, whoa, nice shot. So she, putts out first hole. She gets in her golf cart, heads to the second hole, and then she starts driving her golf cart like she's drunk. And the pro's like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? And she came back. He said, what is happening? And she goes, I got stung by a bee. And he said, oh, that makes sense. Where? And she said, well, between the first and second hole. And he said, if a bee got there to sting you, we got to work on your stance. Bump.
Oh, man.
Not related to racing at all.
Oh, it goes right along with what we were talking about.
She was driving erratically, though, which ties in.
Takes skill.
With some of those bizarre one-car crashes in Kansas.
Well, Bubba Wallace wins in Kansas. What do you think?
He's legit now.
Yeah, man, I was looking on Twitter at some of the things people were saying. It's like, it's just stupid. Like, who cares? Doesn't matter.
I think he's going to win 3 and 4. He's going to make a record each time he wins.
He's driving for probably one of the top organizations. So for him to go out and win, I saw some guy wrote on Twitter that Kurt Busch was driving the car remotely. And the only reason he won is because it's the 45. All they did was change the wrap. You think does the 45's wrap way less than the 23's wrap?
Maybe they put the tape in the right spot.
Yeah, maybe they didn't put it in the Denny Hamlin spot.
I mean, my opinion is, there's no room for racism.
No.
In racing.
Or anywhere.
Now, we all discriminate, and I'm not talking against people, but if you got a favorite topping on your pizza, you probably order it over and over again. So there's room for people not to root for Bubba, but let's not make an excuse on race because we're all God's children. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Agreed, sir. And at this point, Bubba's now won 2 races. That makes him
It takes the asterisks off for winning a rain delayed.
Yeah, and he's one of 138 drivers to be a multiple NASCAR Cup winner.
How can you say such
3,000
stupid things when he's been running up front all year, except for his crew has screwed him over a few times? I mean, he's made his own mistakes too, but I'm happy for him. I
think social media is just a nasty and vile place, to be honest with you. I mean, it's even...
I think people will say things there they're not going to say in person.
Well, I think it's like jaded a lot of our media. I mean, like Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck. Jeff Gluck, it's like he hates to put up the Gluck poll anymore because of social media. And you can tell both of them, it almost makes them kind of despise fans in a way. And that's the sense I get when I listen to the teardown. It's like, hey, not all fans are that bad. I know you know that, but the few that are that bad, it's like it's jaded them towards the rest of us. I mean, look at Bob Pockrass. It's like he's going to say what NASCAR tells him to say. And I don't think he's doing that intentionally, but it's because of the douchebag fans out there. It gets them kind of jaded towards the rest of the fans altogether. I mean, it's like what Door Bumper Clear calls them. Darfs or whatever.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, you can hate Bubba as a driver. Let's not hate his race.
I'm just saying in general.
I'm just saying
fans suck. A lot of people suck.
But when we go to races, we don't run into these douchebags. So they're a minority of fans.
Oh, no doubt. It's the loudest. It's the loudest fans are the ones, and most of them
wheel is what they are.
Yeah, there's guys doing it just to get clicks. They're doing it just to draw attention, just to troll, be a troll. I mean, it's that's why they're doing it. It's annoying, but what I'm getting at is social media as a whole. I mean, I don't think the media ever interacted with the fan base as much as they do now.
No, they haven't.
I mean, I've talked to Jeff Gluck. I've talked to Bob Pockrass. I've talked
Jordan Bianchi we talked to at the All-Star race.
That's what I'm saying. So
Claire B. Ling we talked to.
That kind of access is there. I mean, we can get it we got that before. I was talking to Jeff Gluck through Twitter, just asking him different questions, and he responded back well before we were ever even doing this podcast. So that kind of access has never been there before. But I think it's a bad thing because you see Jeff Gluck pissed off about,
well, look at our
about his phone.
mascot, Daryl, right there, right?
Giving Kyle Busch the finger?
Yeah, but what you can't see next to him, remember there were a family of African Americans between him and us.
Yeah, that guy did not understand why he was flipping Kyle Busch off.
But you know what?
He don't like him, dude.
The response Daryl had to our other neighbors, the African American family, when he said, hey, look, can you tone it down? He didn't act like the redneck he looked at. He did it. He said, sorry, sir.
Yeah, he was cool.
I mean.
But I've never, look, at Talladega, when I first took my son at 6 years old, I think is what he was on his first cup race, the family behind us sat behind us for the next 4 or 5 years. Cold?
Yeah.
Just turn it off. There you go. With that air condition. I put the air conditioner in the studio and it's freezing Jamie out over here.
I'm an old man.
But the family behind us, they sat there behind us for like 4 or 5 seasons. But the first time ever, the guy, I don't remember who his driver was. I think he was a Kyle Busch fan, to be honest with you. But he screamed something. He cussed or something. And he leaned up and he's like, hey, man, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that in front of your son. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. I mean, you know, but for the most part, I've never met these douchebag fans.
Maybe they just troll at home. They don't even go, they're not fans.
That's what I think they are. I think because as much as we have a crappy part of Twitter, there's also a good part of Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got fans that we talk to and interact with all the time that are Kyle Busch fans. Most of the fans I talk to on Twitter, I think, are Kyle Busch fans. So, speaking of Kyle Busch, we're going to find out where he's going tomorrow.
Well, didn't I predict he was going to RCR last week?
Man, we've had so many predictions on this show. We had him at Colleague Racing.
Who really knows? Watch him just pull something out of his rear end that's totally
NFT.
left of center, and you're like,
He's selling NFTs.
I'm not going to be racing. I'm going to be selling NFTs.
I've got this new Kyle Busch NFT I'm going to start selling.
Full-time iRacing, guys. I'm starting my own team.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I'll be glad to know where he's going, though. So, was Kansas a good race? So far on the Jeff Gluck poll, most people at 88% say yes, 12% say no. I gave it a 6 or a 7. I'm torn between the two. I gave it. It's because of the storyline of Bubba winning and a non-playoff driver winning the first 2 playoff races now. Those storylines tie me into it, but that's because I watch it as a whole. Overall, the race kind of was not uneventful.
Yeah, I'm at a 7. It kept my attention, all 3 series.
Yeah, we got different opinions on that.
I wouldn't call it, 7. 7's average. I'm just calling, 70% C gets a C.
Now, I know you didn't vote on Gluck's poll, but
No, it's too many clicks.
if you would have wanted to.
I'm going to do a hateful tweet to him about all those clicks.
You should.
No, that's not in me.
Change your name to Troll.
It's not in me.
Just put it in the name. I voted yes on the Gluck poll.
I mean, I always come up with these great fantasies of how I'll respond to someone, be an asshole, be mean, be a jerk, but
Never do it.
I never do it. I mean,
I don't know. You
remember before I quit,
did it in a song, though. So
I did it in a song,
that was kind of epic.
but it wasn't like hateful. It was
No.
like,
It wasn't even obvious, really, because he didn't realize it for like 3 days.
no, it took them 2 weeks.
When you just didn't show back up. Like, hey,
Well, I finally forwarded it to him from my first email saying, hey, look, today's my last day. I gave you 2 weeks notice 2 weeks ago. That's when he panicked.
what do you mean you quit?
What?
Huh?
I'm like, yeah, dude.
I thought you were sending me song lyrics.
And then he was talking to other people in the office going, what's he saying? And they're like, looks like he quit in a song.
All right, Denny Hamlin finishes second behind his driver, Bubba Wallace, in the 45 car.
Conspiracy?
You know, when Denny passed Christopher Bell,
It helps Denny that a non-playoff driver won.
I mean, it doesn't hurt him.
Nope.
But if he would have won, he would have been locked into the next round, and that helps him too. So I think Denny.
This is Denny's year. He's going to get a championship.
I think it really is. I think he's going to get a driver's championship, not an owner's championship.
Yep.
I think the winner of the driver's championship will probably win the owner's championship like they usually do. But I don't think Denny was going to pass him though, or was going to get to him. Denny was going to.
I think if he would have slid a little bit in a corner or something, he might have ducked down under him. But
Denny wasn't going to wreck him to win.
No.
But Denny proved he wasn't going to wreck him to win last weekend. I mean,
no, he did.
He finished second behind Jones last weekend.
You think now when he's driving as an owner, he's like, man, if I wreck him, that's like $300,000 for the owner.
I wonder if you think like that. Like, I know Dale Jr. said you don't.
I might do a couple $100,000 damage to my car, even though I don't own it.
I don't think he cares about that. All right, Kevin Harvick. Did you watch his safety rant?
Yeah, and he's back to where he was before he won 2 in a row.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
He's just all
he's at back of the field, crashing, random.
Pissed off. Yeah. He hasn't finished like the last 2 or 3 races. Something like that.
Yeah, so, both in the playoffs. He just sucked.
Oh, he caught on fire last week and
then he
lost the air. It looked like the air got him loose.
Yeah, because I kept watching it going, hold it. He didn't touch anybody. I think he panic braked.
I wonder if it hurt.
Stopped short.
He didn't say anything about being hurt. So maybe he didn't get hurt this time. That's what Kevin's saying.
Well, why ran Rave then?
Kevin says that the safety cannot be slow. That this car is screwed up as far as the way it crashes, whether the data says it or not. Every driver in the garage will tell you that's not right and that it hurts. That it hurts your neck, your feet, your hands, everything hurts. We've already discussed it. Apparently on a lighter hit, the driver absorbs the impact. On a harder hit, the car absorbs the impact.
But he's a little hateful. Harvick. Have you know? I mean, I kind of drifted towards being his fan when Dale Sr. died because he replaced him until he besmirked. Is that a word?
I don't know what it even means.
Besmirked Dale Jr. And I was like, hold it, dude.
Oh, dude.
Hold it,
when
dude.
He was driving for him?
Yeah, I'm like, hold it, dude.
Yeah, I never really forgave. I know Dale forgave Kevin for that, but I never really forgave him for that. You're going to attack my driver. I got a problem with you.
Yeah.
That means I can't be your fan.
Well, he wasn't even my favorite driver. Dale Sr. Jr. wasn't, but dude, stop picking on him.
Well, NASCAR came back at Kevin and said that the new car has created crashes at new or higher speeds with more severe angles
that senior
than the
citizens
old cars.
Don't seem to be able to handle, I think they said.
See,
was that in the press release?
I think this is BS. I think NASCAR has their lack of communication is what's got people honestly supporting Kevin Harvick, because the only one who's been vocal about the safety of this car has been the drivers, not just Kevin. Kevin's been very outspoken, but
has Denny Hamlin spoke out about it?
Denny Hamlin missed the race last Saturday because he was hurt.
Yeah,
Kurt Busch has been out for 8 weeks because he's hurt. Look, Bob Hocker's come out and said that NASCAR's safety record is solid. They haven't lost a driver since 2001 when Dale Earnhardt Sr. tragically passed away at Daytona.
Was he saying we need to trust them then?
See, I disagree with Bob. Yeah, we haven't had anybody die, but we lost Dale Jr. because of safety reasons. Concussions led to Dale Jr. Look, Casey Kane. We've lost good. Carl Edwards left because he didn't want to get hurt. Kurt Busch is out right now.
Carl Edwards?
He didn't want to take a hit to the head. His wife's a neurologist.
He's
he knows
ghosting
better.
us, dude.
Well, he's probably the
that
smartest
doesn't even
one
go to the track anymore. Where is he?
I think he goes every weekend, to be honest with you, in disguise.
Yeah, dirt track in Missouri or to a real track?
I think he goes all.
I'm not that a dirt track is.
I think he has a fake mustache, rose petal boots, seersucker pants, and a cowboy hat, and I think he goes around
Grizzly
to different
bear
races.
poles.
Yep, he goes around to different races dressed in disguise. Why wouldn't you? Nobody would know. That's like Jeremy Mayfield on the Dale Jr. Download said he hasn't been to a cup race because he's banned. How do they know?
How do they know when you buy general admission?
I guarantee you those guys working the gate don't know who Jeremy Mayfield is.
He's been gone, what, 12, 15 years?
Now, what would screw Jeremy is there's going to be some old drunk redneck boy in the crowd going, hey, man, there's Jeremy Mayfield right over there in line. Hey, Jeremy, sign my cooler.
Or there might be like a DEA agent out there.
Dr. Black. He's sneaking in
undercover selling some stuff.
Jeremy's like, hey, man, you holding?
Hey, man.
You got anything?
What you got?
All right. What do you think? NASCAR going to do anything about this car? Or are they going to wait till the off season?
I don't think they're going to do anything about it.
I don't either.
They'll do it. We'll hear about it before. We'll talk about changes leading up to Daytona.
I think they're probably already doing something, and Kevin's just not privy to it. Like I said, NASCAR's lack of communication.
But they are privately owned. That's why I say the Francis ought to publicly do an IPO, sell the stock. Guess what? I'd buy some shares. Just say I own them. And be a little transparent. And that sounded like not a transparent who has children and is a trans, but transparent. Like plastic wrap on the top of a bowl of salad. Transparent. I'm so worried about being canceled that I'm canceling myself.
Can you be canceled if there's nobody there to cancel you?
Well, let's hope our 20, 30 listeners don't cancel me.
Because you've described the difference between transparent and transparent. Which I would have never even put the two
Why
together.
am I even worried about being politically correct?
I don't know. You've been impolitically correct since day one.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about this Xfinity race that I felt like we got shafted on that you thought was a good race. They ran 70 laps. It's not even halfway. I understand the rules say finish stage 2 or halfway. Stage 2 needs to always be halfway then.
Gregson was going to win anyway.
Nothing happened. We watched 2 stages of nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't even feel like the race even started.
Well, the last few laps, all their watchers, freaky watchers that we listen to from DBC, they're like, go, there's rain in the area, go. So they knew.
I do think NASCAR's done
Don't you
better.
like watchers better?
No,
I
spotters.
was trying to change something.
Spotters.
I like watchers better.
Watchers sounds dirty.
Creepy, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you're on a list, and it's not a list.
Watcher.
They're not letting you in the racetrack on that list. You can't even go to church if you're on that list.
Well, you can, but you got to go to a mega church where you're 500 feet away.
They have a special.
Yeah.
He used to touch children section.
Yeah.
I've never seen that section at my church, thankfully. All right. I don't even remember what we're talking about.
Well, don't send them to kindergarten to teach Sunday school.
You're definitely not going to do that. That always not cracks me up, but it's like, you'll hear so-and-so's teacher got fired because he's been on a sex offenders list since the 70s. He's been teaching since 82.
I mean, dude, there are some creepy people at my church, and I'm not going to say their name. I may have in the past, but there's like 5,000 people. There's 3 services, so it's like 1,500 a service. There's a pedo in there.
I would hope not, though.
But there's no way. The law's of averages.
Yeah.
There's just weirdos there anyway. I told you about that weird dude. We're at Sunday school at Starbucks in the foyer.
Oh, yeah, this dude is.
And dude
weird.
just, first of all, we didn't see him ever before. We're trying to be nice. And the dude comes in and he's talking to us and just, so another guy friend, I'm not going to name names. He said like, hey, did you guys see the Xfinity in the truck race? And this dude goes, you know what? Competition is the work of the devil. And says NASCAR.
So you think NASCAR is the work of the devil?
And we're like, all right, well.
We're talking about NASCAR racing.
Don't sit at a table next to us then.
You're not going to like our conversation.
Be friendly and inviting to this guy.
Well, maybe he just hates NASCAR that much. Maybe he's a Twitter troll. Maybe he's the one who's pissed off Jeff Gluck.
It could be. Maybe he's the problem. Maybe he hates Bubba Wallace too.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of maybes that go along with this guy. So maybe he's your sketchy guy. I mean, you said.
Well, I was thinking pedo.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm like, what's this guy?
I go to a smaller church, so laws of average, we're probably good.
How many people go to your church?
There's probably 500-600.
There's a pedo there.
And we've had 18 different drivers now this season. That that puts us in second place to 2001.
What year was that?
2001.
What?
19.
What?
What?
Didn't you question me last week when I said 19? You're like,
Yes, did
we
I?
had to go to the Google God.
Did you find it out?
Well, I looked it up while we were sitting here. I'm like, no, dude, Google says. And you're just like, yep, Google's never wrong.
Well, they're still not wrong.
You think they would change it?
I wouldn't count
Go
it,
in and
man.
edit the Google page like you can on Wikipedia?
Well, you gotta change your opinion to fit somebody else's opinion, so why not?
Sure, why not?
So we've had 18 different drivers. Do you think we hit 19?
Yes.
I do too. There's no way we don't. Truex is going to win a
The
race.
playoff drivers are really sucking right now.
Oh, no doubt.
All of them just like they lost their brain. Like, oh, the playoffs, yay, crash.
Denny, Christopher Bell, and Alex Bowman. Like, Denny doesn't surprise me, but Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman being two of your top finishing playoff drivers yesterday, yeah, we got a problem. Well, maybe we don't have a problem. We have parity. Is that what NASCAR keeps calling it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, 18 winners. That's parity.
I guess. I think we hit 19 because I think Truex is going to win a race.
He wins it just right. He could be in the final four, huh?
All right, so we were talking about Kyle Busch earlier. I'm going to give you my opinion. I think tomorrow is going to go two ways.
You're the only opinion we haven't heard of yet. Heard from.
You've heard my opinion before. My opinion changes weekly. So right now, my current opinion is Kyle Busch is going to drive the number 3 car for RCR in a multi-year deal. Tyler Reddick's going to drive the number 8 car, and Austin Dillon is secretly retiring.
To take a management role?
Yeah.
It works for me.
I think that would be the only way to surprise me at this point. I don't know. Tyler Reddick said today on XM radio that he would be in the 8 car next year.
Or did Kyle, and this is just speculation on my part, don't quote me, Kyle and Richard Childress are going to split the cost of a charter.
Oh, okay.
So that brings kind of like
Makes
the
Kyle
Gordon,
ownership.
Jimmy Johnson situation on the car.
And Kyle drives it until Brexton's old enough to get in it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I never thought of that angle.
Wouldn't you be able to, I mean, if it was your kid, wouldn't you take a little skin out of your salary so that could happen?
Yeah, no, I 100%. That would be a way for that would be a way for Austin to stay in the 3. They get the charter from Rick Ware and bring the 51 number with it. Like, I think I've said that on here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler Reddick, because Tyler Reddick said today that he is being told by Richard and the team that he will be in the number 8 car in 2023. That it's been sold to sponsors already. I don't doubt that.
I think that he's going to get a 3rd charter, and he's going to do like Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon. When Jeff Gordon said, oh, this young guy's good, I want a piece of him.
And then that allows him to still use his truck program as a developmental program. And then he can, when he retires, he uses his part ownership to bring up his truck talent, whether that's through RCR's Xfinity program as well. It's almost like a junior motorsports type of thing, except he's in the truck series versus Xfinity. So Richard's probably going to get a piece of KBM too.
I would think so.
So it could be Dick Busch Motorsports.
Could be Dick Busch.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm putting, just in the truck series. You leave it at RCR.
Yeah, he's got such a history.
Yeah.
But they didn't
Rick
change Hendrick because Gordon owned half of Johnson. Yeah.
So there's no reason to change it on the cut. You don't even have to change the Xfinity side.
I saw something on the metaverse.
But I really just want a Dick Busch racing.
It still says Facebook on top, even though it's the meta.
What are you talking about?
This rumor I saw.
What's the meta?
It's what Facebook has become, the meta.
Oh, I gave up Facebook in 2020, so I've missed the change, I guess.
Well, it's this weird thing. I got a news feed and I clicked it. It shot me to Facebook.
When did Facebook transition to Meta?
That's just what that weird dude that owns them.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you.
Schultz is no. I don't know. Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zinkberg.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, old Zinkberg.
Zinkleberry.
That dude's weird, man.
Obviously.
He's got more data probably than the CIA and the NSA on us.
Not on me. I'm not on there. It's old news.
You're on there.
Yeah, old news. I haven't posted on there since 2020.
Well, I have no friends on there on purpose. I will reject you as a friend.
Oh, I
have zero friends, but Facebook. Well, I just go to Marketplace.
They give you friends.
Well, they try to. Well, you got weird ones that actually request it. And they all look like prostitutes.
Yeah, theirs aren't real people.
And they're always from another country.
It's like,
I used to go
I'm the daughter of a Saudi Arabia prince.
Do these friend
I want to marry you.
People you may know.
Yeah, you know a prince from Saudi Arabia.
I started deleting them so I wouldn't
know them.
They won't even be there. But they just feed you more.
It's an algorithm.
I mean, I'm getting these Ukrainian women.
They're basing it off the porn you're watching.
I don't watch porn. I make it. It's kind of like you don't wear your own T-shirt like Dale Jr.
Yeah, but he wore it at North Wilkesboro. He wore a Dale Jr. number 3 Sundrop shirt. So he broke his own rule. Is that the first? He said you can wear your own gear retro.
Was that a retro?
Like
was he calling it retro?
Didn't he wear a number 8 shirt or something during the broadcast at Darlington or something one year?
I'm not that detail oriented.
I mean,
the Google Sphere or the Metasphere might have it in there. Ask Zinkleberry.
Zinkleberry. What's his first name?
Is he going to come after us?
Is it Mark?
Bruce.
No,
it's Mark. You're right.
Mark Zinkleberry.
He's weirder than Bezos, dude.
Bezos and Butthead.
That could be. They need a reality show together.
Bezos
and Bezos, yeah.
Zuckhead and Bezos.
Uh-huh.
I've been watching Beavis and Butthead again recently. I don't know why, but it's such a great cartoon.
It's great. It's a great show.
I don't remember them reviewing like Real World and Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't watch that though. I usually fast forward through that and go straight to the cartoon part.
He said, "Dick."
Don't copy your ass. You've seen the one where he sits on the copy machine and he goes through it? The whole way to the copier, he's like, "Don't copy your ass. Don't copy your ass." Love it, man. All right. John Hunter Nemechek wins Friday. That's his second win of the season. That is a huge disappointment. And Fox.
What's his winning or that he only won 2?
He only won 2.
Well, how many is he supposed to win?
You're in the best equipment in the truck series. You're in a Kyle Busch Motorsports. I mean, you're talking Christopher Bell, Eric Jones. These guys dominated back in the day. William Byron dominated, and Kyle Busch dominates.
Maybe
John Hunter wins 2 races.
The same skill set.
Exactly. That's why it's embarrassing. The dude had a ride at what? Front row, furniture row, something row in the cup ride, 38.
Third row.
38 car.
Metasphere Road.
Meta Road, Zucker Road. Yeah, he was there. And then he came back to the truck series. And it's like the pairing should have been 6 to 8 wins. I'm sorry. Anything less than 6 is a disappointment. So unless he wins every race from here on out, this season's been a failure, in my opinion. And he's apparently pissed off Joe Gibbs because he's not getting called up to drive in the 18 car anytime soon.
Oh, here's the question for you. Why has Barbie never had any babies? The doll.
Because she's a toy.
Ken came in another box. Oh, that's so funny. All right.
You're not right.
Church humor.
You heard that one in the pulpit?
No, Pastor didn't tell me that one.
All right. Fox completely drops the ball yet again Friday night. I'm almost positive. In my opinion, I think, just in my opinion, I'm 98% sure in my opinion.
Think they're doing it on purpose?
They weren't there. Look, they showed in the beginning a picture of Michael and the guys in the booth, right? They had TVs stacked on top of each other behind them.
No, you couldn't see the track behind
It
them.
looked like the track on TV.
Yeah, like they green screened it and popped it in there.
It didn't look real. And then later in the race, they're like, oh, yeah, he's leading. Well, no, wait, hold on a minute. Oh, there he is. And as soon as TV got there, they could talk about it. But they had no idea what they were talking about until it was on the TV. Fox has to stop broadcasting from Charlotte unless we're at Charlotte. That's the only time it works.
They're saving some money.
I don't care. This is horrible, man. And then you had the host of our thing, like, is he in? Is he not in? The broadcast team's going, hell, I don't know.
Don't they have a statistician feed him that info?
They got to have some guy with a calculator behind them going, hey, man. If the whole race, though, they had it on TV. Currently in by one. Last stage, they never showed it again.
They didn't have their pewters open, dude.
They gave up.
pewters.
They've given up.
No pewters.
They've silently quit.
Ooh. The old silent quit made it to our show finally.
They have silently quit. Guaranteed.
Bastards.
All right. Does Kansas deserve more than one race? It was something they were talking about on TV earlier.
You know, it's not a great race. It's not a bad race.
I just think one race would build more excitement.
Well, that's going to be the case anywhere. I mean,
if you only got a Big Mac once a year,
supply and demand increases the value.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us trying to get tickets to the All-Star next year.
Can't get them.
Yeah. We were both on the computer trying to log on.
I was trying to donate $25.
I'm refreshing. It'll never, the button's grayed out. Then I get error codes. Then they go, oh, it's not going to work. We're going to try it at 3. Same thing. We did it over again.
So what tracks do deserve 2 races?
I like Charlotte because it's, the 600 and then
the Roval.
The Roval.
Okay, I'm good with that. I agree with that.
Atlanta's cleaned itself up.
Yes, I'm good with Atlanta.
Atlanta too. Love Daytona. Well, the last race didn't think it was that great, but Daytona gets 2 and Dega gets 2.
Yeah, I agree with all those.
Martinsville, Bristol gets 2.
But Bristol needs to lose the
Martinsville.
dirt. I think Bristol needs to lose the dirt.
Let's go to a dirt track.
They get 2 concrete tracks.
Go to Knoxville. Let's go to Knoxville.
Let's go to Eldora.
But, they're pissed off at Tony for starting his own league.
Which that probably won't be back. So
kind of a double standard here, though, isn't Dale Jr. heavily into the Cars Tour?
That's the Dale Jr. Cars Tour, isn't it?
That's what I heard. Everybody told us at the track while we were there.
I think Darlington gets 2 races a year.
Oh yeah, Darlington too. Forgot about them. And what I see they're talking about doing in California, Fontana too. Keep it.
Maybe. I think we need to see it first. Which I think that might be the same. So Tyler Reddick said Bristol is not going to be what everybody's expecting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm expecting some hard-nosed racing.
Spring or for the race coming up this weekend? What are they going to change?
He said the cars have a lot of grip. They can just run around there really, really fast.
Well, that could be disappointing.
It could be.
Or it could be awesome.
Exactly. So I don't know. It depends on what you're expecting. If you're expecting a boring race, maybe it won't be what you're expecting.
What are you expecting when we go back to Martinsville? I'm expecting a boring race.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
That practice they had, the testing they had fell apart.
Well, Darlington was better this time around than the first time around.
It was.
So I'm hopeful for Martinsville this time. I think this car at Martinsville, if they can actually hit each other, the car's going to fall apart so easily when they start hitting each other at Martinsville with the outside, their passenger front tire, their right front.
Harvick has suggested that we change the gearing and the transmission so they don't have to shift.
Harvick's probably right. But
he is right because
Red Dick says it's going to be unexpected.
Did you watch Dale Jr. when he posted him making laps at Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro?
Who?
Dale Jr.
When he posted him making laps?
You can go on YouTube. He's got he's got his little camera set up.
Oh, yeah.
Just him on the track alone. I guess it's a test. He tested, but you can find it on YouTube. He, starts in second like you should, hits third between turns 1 and 2, drops in the fourth in the backstretch, and the rest of the laps,
Never touched it.
he's only feathering the brake and the gas pedal.
That's how it should be, though.
Well, that would make it more interesting in Martinsville.
I don't.
So
If they're
I'm
shifting,
going back with Harvick.
I agree. And if they have to shift at Bristol, that's too much.
Yeah.
The banking here is almost 30 degrees. We know what that's like. We've stood on that.
Yep.
You haven't rubbed
It's
your
pretty dang steep.
haven't rubbed your pecker on it, but you stood on it.
Well, as you said on your notes here, Tommy Lee might rub his wiener on there.
But you're gonna have to pay. Tommy Lee.
Was he charging for his dick pics?
So their final show of their tour was like last weekend.
Is he doing NFTs of them?
NFT dicks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He ought to.
Can you get rid of that with penicillin? It's NFT and STD.
I've seen that old elephant trunk he's got there. I don't know if penicillin's going to fix that thing.
Tommy Lee, if you don't know who that is, I'm sorry. He is the...
It's not the actor who's old and decrepit.
It's the drummer who's old.
It's the drummer who's old and decrepit.
He's a 59-year-old drummer from the 80s iconic rock band Motley Crue, who I'm sure we're representing on the wall somewhere around here.
Yeah, there's a crew up here.
Yeah, we've got the Carnival of Sins 2006 Motley Crue bandana hanging on the wall.
That was just for their first retirement.
Yeah, it was their reunion retirement.
Yeah.
So it was the get back together and retirement show all together.
We blew all our money.
Yeah, we need you to help support us. It was that one. Well, Tommy Lee posted a picture of his pecker on social media, and Instagram deleted it. So
Can you say pecker on our podcast?
Let me think about it. Yes.
It's
our podcast. If I want to say
we got company policy though.
Tallywhacker? What am I supposed to call it? Dingle dangle?
Oscar Mayer?
His dingle dangle?
Okay.
So he posted it on Instagram and they removed it. So apparently he's going to join or has joined OnlyFans.
Well, I thought he was going to join Richard Childress Racing.
Hey, Rick.
With that old hog nose he's got there.
Maybe that's the Dick Bush.
Yeah, the Dick Bush.
Tommy Lee's going to be part owner of Kyle's team. I don't know, man. At some age, like he's 60. Like that just sounds wrong. We're like, if you could hear that on the news, 60-year-old man shows his penis on social media.
You're gonna
that
get
sounds horrible.
You're going to court, and there's going to be restrictions.
You're on that list we were talking about. You're going to be on. Tommy should be on that list already.
He might be.
Yeah, I mean, a 60-year-old man is posting his penis online, pictures of it.
All right, I got another story for you. Kind of a joke, but for real.
Okay.
My news feed, I saw and I clicked it. It was kind of clickbait. It was like 65-year-old woman. And so I clicked it. And I read her little story. She's fresh in the dating game.
She played golf?
No, she didn't play golf. Could be the same lady. But what she said she's finding is that all these age-appropriate males on her dating site, and I'm not going to name it until they sponsor us. So if there's a dating site out there that wants to sponsor us, I won't name you. But she said she's finding everybody age-appropriate for her dating people 20 and 30 years younger than her on this app.
So she needs to go to older men?
Well, she changed her profile, and her profile now says, hey, all you old men, old dirty men going after these young girls, you need a woman like me who can recognize a stroke. I thought it was hilarious.
You're not right either.
Well, neither is she, but...
You know her?
No. I don't have that dating app. I'm married.
How did you find this article then?
It was on a news feed, some newspaper.
What are you doing looking at online to get this crap on your news feed?
Well,
I know the kind of friends
Google. I don't clean my cache or whatever you call it. And I've subscribed to multiple different newspapers online. So if it happens in one of those states where I subscribe to a paper.
You got dirty cookies.
Well, there's no dirty. Well, it could be, but I don't look at porn. I did Google something the other day.
Not knowing it was porn?
Yeah. It was another term for orgy, which I didn't know.
What is it?
I don't remember anymore.
What is another term for orgy?
Oh,
Mini?
This is what it is. I've kept seeing these upside down pineapple stickers on cars. Yeah. Upside down.
Like SpongeBob?
Yeah, but they're like a sticker on a car upside down.
More than one car.
Yes.
Okay.
It hasn't been like constant.
Does that mean something, I guess?
It's the secret term for swingers.
Swingers?
I didn't know that.
What's a swinger? Like
people that have orgies.
Oh, like the sharing thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
So, I saw it the other day. My wife was driving her car, and I'm like, there's another one. And she's like, what? I'm like, and it's only about an inch or 2 inches on the back window of a big old family SUV. I think the other ones I've seen were on Suburbans or Expeditions.
They got the kids stickers on there, too.
Kids seats in the back. Yeah.
My family,
but they
my
got
dog, two
little
cats.
teeny SpongeBob looking upside down pineapple. And so I wasn't driving. I pulled out my phone and put upside down pineapple. And I start getting links to porn sites and shit. Oops. Didn't mean to say the shat word.
You've said the shat word numerous times this episode.
But I look at it, I'm like, oh my goodness. That's for swingers. That's because I'm getting like, I didn't click on them, but it's like orgies.com and stuff like that.
You clicked on that?
No, because I knew I was going to have my click on that.
Not on your company computer?
Well, no. Then they'd get access to all my contacts in there. A little weird emails start going out to my customers and my bosses. Right. I'm like, oh, I ain't clicking on that.
Start sending them pineapple stickers.
I was, no shit. This is what I was thinking would be funny. Just randomly go to like a big parking lot at a mall or something.
Walk around.
Lowe's, just slap them on cars upside down.
I saw somebody doing that back in
It's a shame. That's the first thing I thought of when I found out what it meant. I can really prank people.
I think you should. You just buy like 150 of them, take them to the race.
Bam, bam, bam.
Next time we go to the racetrack, as you're walking from your parking spot, just start hitting bumpers.
And then they're a line leaving. Talladega.
Start putting them on people's backs.
Swingers start honking at them. Hey, baby.
Start putting them on people's backs.
Yeah.
Like on their bags.
Hey, we're recording call.
Oh, yeah. My dad's calling.
He calls during every episode. Hey, David.
32 episodes.
We'll call you back later.
Times. It's all good. Hey, at least my dad cares, He calls.
Yeah, if my dad called me, weird.
Yeah, well, your dad's dead. So.
Yeah. And I wouldn't answer it.
Actually, you should.
Well,
if a ghost calls into the show, you're definitely answering that call.
Well, he is still in my contacts because every time I upgrade a phone, they just, you want us to update your new phone with the contacts? I'm like, yeah.
So just save it.
So if it ever calls, it's going to freak me out.
You say that, but I look through.
I'm sure they reassigned it. What if that guy accidentally called me by mistake?
My grandmother hasn't had her home phone. My grandmother died in October of last year. She lived in a nursing home for a couple years, yet I still have her cell phone and home number programmed in my phone. My father-in-law passed away years ago. Still got him saved in my phone. So, yeah, I guess you never go through and clean those things out, do you?
No, it's too much waste of time.
All right, we're going to Bristol next week. The non-dirt Bristol. Should be a better race Bristol.
Well, hold on. What about this 13-year-old that brought 150 fentanyl pills that were disguised as Percocets to Bakersville Junior High?
Isn't that where Kevin Harvick's from?
I think so.
Bakersville? I wonder if he went to Bakersville Junior High. So, yeah, this 13-year-old brought all these fentanyl pills, and it said in the article I was reading, the supervisor, I'm assuming that's like a principal or something, but the supervisor overdosed from handling the fentanyl, just from touching and inhaling it.
So the kid's an amateur fentanyl distributor?
Well, how'd the kid not overdose when he was touching them?
Well, he might have wore gloves.
He's 13.
But his family might be distributors.
So it said he had $300 in his bag. So that tells me he's probably sold some of those. He probably started the day with 200. So shouldn't you be looking for the other 50?
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy, man.
Maybe he took them. He has taken so much.
When I was in high school, we didn't have fentanyl. I'm trying to think what I think ketamine was the scary drug when I was in high school.
Man. You want some cat? And I'm like, yeah, no.
That K-hole? That scared the crap out of me. I was like...
Man, I didn't even know what it was. I was like 9th grade. I asked my dad, what's ketamine? He's like, isn't that a horse tranquilizer? We didn't have Google back then.
Yeah, we didn't
I'm
either.
like, what? He's like, yeah, I think it's a horse tranquilizer.
I asked my dad what it was. He said, "You see the kids on the short bus? You don't want to take that stuff." But I knew, don't mess with the ketamine. But no lie, that was the one. That was the one that scared the crap out of my generation. At least when I was in high school.
Well, they told us when I was in high school, you only have to smoke a joint once and you could die.
It's because it's a gateway. It's a gateway to happiness.
Well, we already knew the truth. We're like, no, dude. No, it doesn't work that way, man.
I've smoked like 80 of these things.
What are you talking about? It's all a lie.
I'm still alive. All right, we're going to Bristol next week, Jamie. What hotels do we need to avoid, sir?
Oh, we had a good time at Bristol last time.
Yeah, if you don't remember, Bristol's the one where the hillbilly jumped out of the hole in the floor.
Well, we're going to do that again. We're going back because they updated it.
The hillbilly?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
There was an update on the review. And I read it, and they went into further detail, and then this guy was calling them moon pies or something. We'll get to the term. It's on a different page. It's called moon lilies or something.
Okay.
And this lady Googled it between last review and this review, and she copy and pasted the definition of these moon pies or whatever.
And inputted it?
Yeah, so that hillbilly was nuts, dude.
Awesome.
That hillbilly
We've been talking about it for months.
And in my mind, I see him as Johnny Appleseed with a metal pot on his head popping out of the hole, going, "Oh, you want some Appleseed?"
I picture him somebody off Moonshiners. Like the old dude with a long, long beard.
And this one, the first one, America's Best Value Inn and Suites, Knoxville North. So I'm figuring there's a bunch of these, and it's not a Wyndham. I looked. Should be. But just because of this guy's bizarre humble brag, I put this on here. His name's Brandon Corbin. Somebody out. I Googled his name. There was a bunch of other Corbins out there, some of them rich. But here's what he said after he gave it a 1 out of 5. He said, "So I'm out on the road working." So I'm thinking he's a construction worker, right? He's not. He's not. "I stop and get a hotel for that night so I can get a good shower and good night's rest. So I go to America's Best Value Inn and Suites at 300 Merchant Drive in Knoxville, Tennessee. Soon as I walk in, it's apparent that it is run down by people from India. So my pilot and driver and I go to the room immediately." So this guy has a chauffeur and a pilot.
And he's staying at America's Best Value Inn.
Is this pertinent to how horrible it is, though? He's just bragging that he's got a pilot and a driver, in my opinion.
Well, he just wants to tell you how good he is.
Immediately, there's a nasty smell in the air. We proceed to check out the room. As I walk into the bathroom and flip the light, we see nasty cockroaches everywhere. As if it wasn't bad enough, the toilet and tub was covered in some kind of black, oily mold. Dude, that ain't mold. He's lived a lily lifestyle with his private jets, stretch limousines.
I mean, it could be mold.
Well, he probably has people sitting in his bathroom in his mansion in Hollywood cleaning up the poo as soon as he stains.
Yeah, but this is black, oily mold.
Well,
it covered the toilet.
You ever played with your own turd? I mean,
I've never rubbed a turd.
No, I haven't either. But it could be black and oily.
Let's hope not. It's like a kid's.
Well, he immediately left, went back to the front office and demanded a refund. The Indian guy got very rude and called me a liar and said that their rooms had no cockroaches and was very clean. Then he presumed to tell me that I wasn't getting a refund to call the police if I had an issue. Worst hotel I've ever seen. So, I don't think you should ever challenge someone to call the police.
Do not make me call the police. I would call the police. We are the best cockroaches in town.
But, this place, I look at pictures. It's not the nicest hotel. He's got a pilot and a driver. Why did he go there?
Because it says suites. He's like, oh, yes, there's a Best Value Inn there, but they also
I think we reviewed an America's Best Inn Value Inn in Fontana.
We reviewed a lot of hotels, and just because it says suite in the name doesn't mean it's a suite. Usually, if you have to put sweet or luxury in the name, that's because it's nasty.
Yeah, I would prefer they misspell it and call it SWEET.
Yeah. Sweet. Where are we going?
Next, we're going to go to the Red Roof Inn in Knoxville.
Now, you cannot go right at a Red Roof.
This is 1 out of 5. They titled it literally the worst, scariest hotel in Knoxville. They titled it. Most people don't title it.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could.
This guy just, yeah.
He's a hacker.
Probably. It's probably that Stinkelberg guy that founded Facebook.
Oh, Zingleberry?
Yeah, Zingleberry. This is his fake name.
What is this?
Which he didn't give it. He didn't give his name.
Merchants Drive.
Just a review of Red Roof Inn in Knoxville North.
All right.
I checked into the room late in the evening after taking an Uber from the airport. I threw my stuff in the room and went to a meeting I was late for. The weather was awful. It was dark, and I did not inspect the room. Problem number 1. When I returned after 11 p.m., I got the room and turned the lights on. Blood, feces, cake dirt, brown juice running down the walls. Boy, that's kind of what they found at that America's Best. Brown juice. That is horrible.
Sounds like a horror movie.
There was filth everywhere.
You think?
The pictures will speak for themselves. Actually, your words did a pretty good job, too.
Very descriptive.
Yeah.
Blood, feces, cake dirt, brown juice running down the walls. It's the brown juice that gets me.
Yeah, it's diarrhea. We all know it.
Yeah.
Just call it diarrhea.
I don't know. Brown juice sounds worse. Like diarrhea.
Does that mean there's some
diarrhea running down the wall? It's like, okay, he's exaggerating.
Is there some dude right above the wall taking a turd upstairs that ate bad Mexican?
He probably died. It's bloated, and he's running over the tub. Like on CSI. Did you ever see that episode where the dude was so bloated they had to cut the side of the wall out and take him out in New York?
Yeah.
New York CSI.
That is the one I saw.
That's the one I'm envisioning here.
He didn't go to the front office first, and he doesn't say this. That's me telling you, because I called Booking.com, and they were super nice, but did suggest that I go to the desk to return my keys and formally complain.
Duh.
I went down there, and a woman was managing the desk with her girlfriend who was living at the property. She refused to return my money. She refused to look at the room or pictures, and she threatened to kick my butt. But profanity. So
What?
she said ass instead.
What?
Maybe she said, I'm going to kick your effing ass.
No, he says kick my butt, but profanity.
Well, I think he's telling you they didn't use butt. He's afraid he's...
Oh, I thought he was saying this.
This might be the same rich dude with his pilot and his driver. This is where they went to afterwards.
This is the driver.
Yeah.
Sir Edward.
Pardon me, do you have any grey poupon?
Sir, he's using the butt profanity word. Arse.
Then she told me I would have to come back at 7 a.m. to get a refund. I stayed the night awake in the Starbucks across the street, which makes you a creeper there, doesn't it?
A watcher.
Yeah, a watcher. A watcher with door bumper clear. When I returned, the manager refused to return my money until I called Booking.com in front of him. He told me to hang up on them.
I think this guy works for Booking.com. He's put in that.
He would give me cash. I finished the call with them and told him I would still post a review. Basically, it was the worst hotel experience of my life. He called me again today after corporate made him and threatened once again. What does that mean? Made him? They invited him to join the mafia? You're a made man now, hotel guy.
You're a made desk.
And then we threatened him. We'll take away your made man status if you don't give him a refund.
We'll kill your family.
He said that they inspected the room and it was great. He denied the filth and asked me to come to the property and show him the pictures. Honestly, if I had done so, I would have taken the police with me. Otherwise, I might have ended up in a dumpster behind the property, to be honest. Maybe he was a made man.
Maybe.
Oh, they're going to throw him in a dumpster?
Is Mafia real big in Bristol, Tennessee?
I don't know.
I mean, this is Knoxville.
I didn't join. They never even offered me to join the Mafia.
Yeah, true story. When I was in my teens.
They offered you to join?
No, but I wanted to be in the Mafia.
Oh.
That's like a... But apparently you have to be from up north and...
You got to have some Italian blood or something. I don't know.
Apparently, a Southern boy from Georgia doesn't qualify. Not for the. I wanted to be in like the Goodfellas Mafia.
Where they kill you? That's all of them. They just kill you.
But Goodfellas, the movie.
Oh, you wanted to be a part of that one?
Yeah, just the movie.
Okay,
that was a good movie.
It was a great movie.
Where are we going next? I like this lady's name. I thought it said the Andrew Jackson Inn.
Well, we're gonna go. It's the Andrew Johnson.
That's what I said. I thought it said the Andrew
He's from
Jackson.
there. He's from that area.
Andrew Johnson?
Yeah, he was the president after Lincoln. They say he was the first Trump.
Andrew Johnson?
Yeah, he was impeached.
So was Jackson.
No, that's another president.
There's an Andrew Johnson?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Andrew Jackson was born in
Mississippi?
No, South Carolina. Well, there's a dispute. Waxhaw, North Carolina, or South Carolina. And both sides claim him, which is right on the boundary of North and South Carolina. I'm going to give him a break and say he was born in North Carolina because we know how we feel about South Carolina.
Yeah.
It's a great place to drive through.
Not stop.
And not get a ticket.
And then you're happy. All right. What we got? Robin
Blatz. Oh, Robin Blatz.
Blatz.
She gave it a 1 out of 5 at the Andrew Johnson Inn. And I saw pictures. It is shady. The air conditioning plastic cover was completely ripped off of the air conditioner and just standing straight up in the corner. This made a gap about 2 or 3 inches wide all the way around the air conditioner on 3 full sides of it where I could see all the way to the outside, causing it to be extremely hot the entire time I was there. The door in the bathroom was missing the inside mechanical parts on the inside, so the door doesn't latch shut. And there was graffiti in several places in the room. She didn't know she was in a homeless shelter. There were 2 grown men fistfighting the parking lot really late in the middle of the night, making all the kind of noises, enough to wake me up, and I'm a heavy sleeper.
Probably the main event.
Then on top of that, there were several people from other rooms. They're all standing out-aid. What is out-aid?
Out-aid, you know.
Out-aid watching the spectacle and laughing about it and taking bets on who would win.
Told you it was the main event.
Total dive.
That wasn't a fight. It was an event.
Then we got...
It was amateur MMA.
Remember, I told you these guys were competing with Wyndham for worst hotel?
Yeah.
Here's another. I found another Oyo.
Oyo.
O-Y-O. Oyo. Hotel Chapmanville.
Oh, yeah.
Tarina Martin Kinsler. No. We have a friend Kinsler. It's Kinzer. My brain.
Yes.
My dyslexia dropped an L. Sorry,
no
Kevin.
L there.
They just say bad. It needs shut down.
Yeah, we've heard
Needs shut down. The phone don't work. They overcharge people all kinds of fire hazard. They overcharge them all kind of fire hazard. I didn't know that was a fungible coin.
I thought that should be free.
Got to leave your doors unlocked so you can get out from the inside room. 209.
They lock from the outside.
Yeah, and in room 616. They are missing outlet covers. The owner, Jay, treats... Oh, he's personal with him.
He knows
Keeps his employees like garbage. We stayed there for 38 days.
Must not have been that bad, dude.
Was ordering the rooms online for $50.
There's your problem.
Then we paid cash, and it was $60.35.
Yeah, made that tip money.
Then next, DAT, D-A-T, it went up to $73.45 next day. Was $85. And then the next day, it up to $100. So he told us that it let her be cheaper to pay a week, which was $500. So we did once. We ended up paying close to $3,500.
Wow.
He is very rude, man. R-O-O-D.
I've never seen rude spelt that way in my life.
I can't even figure it out. This next word, better be rue. Business needs to be called Beirut. B-E-R-O-U-E. Beirut.
Bureau.
Beirut business.
That's how he spelled bureau.
Oh, bureau. Yeah, better Baru bureau. God, business. No, he didn't put bureau. Better Baru business.
Bureau.
Needs to be called. It's a dump. All the electrical needs to, letter B, updated. On the second floor, the wood is rotted. It all needs redone. There's one open junction box in the rooms. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. What, the junction box?
You recommend it to nobody.
It says free breakfast and coffee, but it knows so. That's false advertising. That's another thing, is against the law. They want come in and clean. Give you toilet paper. You got to buy your own. My opinion, it needs shut down or upgraded to the code. The owner, Jay, is a dickhead to everyone, but you can go to Best Western for $10 more and get breakfast and room service. This is a lot better hotel than Chapinville Inn.
You gotta go to get the room service at the Best Western?
Call the Bed of Boo-Roo.
It's Burrow-U. Burrow-U.
Whoa.
But it's Burrow-U.
He's Hillbilly.
This is the guy This is the guy who jumped out of the hole.
Well, that's next.
This is where he went to stay at.
This is a long one.
This is legit. All right, let's go.
We went and read the update. So
we're going to read the old review too?
It's in here.
I know. Are you reading it?
I'm reading the whole thing.
All right.
Because it's just hilarious. Even the second, I was cramping up and crying.
All right.
And then I read the edition and I was like, what the? For real? I had to Google the name of these moon pie people. And it's real. But anyway, let's get to that. I kind of let the cat out of the bag. But K. Moss, the Barney Hill movie. I don't think I'd stay there.
No
Just
way.
to the name. 1 out of 5. And she does fall into the hole. But this was the beginning of her podcast. We didn't know it was a hole yet.
We weren't even caught, but we'll let her slide because she was the inventor of the hole.
She was like the OG funny
hole.
Yeah. If I could put 0 stars, I definitely would. Would not recommend to anyone, especially if you have children. We stopped here for the night and went in the room and checked it out. First, before we even went in the room, an old man I assume lived there asked me for $3, which I declined and told him I don't have any more cash on me. We went in the room and there was a hole in the middle of the floor. Oh, this is going to be so hard to read. The old man popped out of the hole, chortling in his strange hillbilly twang. Oh my God. His hands he kept in his pants. Oh God. I'm hurting already. I hope he was wearing underwear. He jumped out of the hole. Oh, let me wipe my tears out of my eyes and find where I stopped. He jumped up out of the hole and ran out the open door. Oh my God. Through the parking lot. We realized he had underwear but no pants. But had knee-high strap socks. With work boots on. Screaming for his $3. All right, sorry for that. We had to give you guys a little break so we could get it together. Let's see if I can finish reading this without cramping up and crying.
All right.
So where we he jumped out of the hole and ran out the open door through the parking lot. We realized he had underwear but no pants, but had knee-high striped socks and work boots on, screaming for his $3. He kept calling us moon-eyed people. WTF is that? So no, she forgot a question mark, but she's, what the F is that?
Yeah.
My boyfriend started screaming words. I think she wrote it phonetically. Starty. My beaufriend Starty screaming words at the old man that the pastor of our church would have fainted from.
Oh, he was cussing.
He was cussing that dude. We decided to check the beds for bed Big D. That's BIGD. Wow. And found dead cockroaches under the mattress and sheets.
You look in the bed for the Big D. There's no Big D in this bed.
I guess that's being critical of her boyfriend, isn't it?
Poor guy.
Wow.
No Big D. Where'd that old man go out of the hole?
We looked at the pillow, and there was a long black hair right on top of the pillow. Apparently, they didn't clean the sheets or any netting. NEDDING. I looked at the bottom of the bed, and there was a big dirt spot on the sheet. And this isn't even the worst of it. No, I think you already had the worst of it.
Yeah.
We opened the fridge, and there was a cockroach in the fridge that was still barely alive. We looked beside the fridge, and my boyfriend thought he seen something go underneath. So he moved the fridge over a little bit to look. And sure enough, he did see something go underneath it. When he moved the fridge over just a little, there were hundreds of cockroaches just scattering everywhere. I freaked out and said, "Let's leave." And as we grabbed a bag of our to go out the door, there was a damn cockroach on the damn bag. I guess she's not ashamed of cussing anymore, is she? Damn's probably as bad as she goes.
That was just at the beginning of the review.
Yeah.
By the end of the review, she's pissed.
There was a damn cockroach on the damn bag that we had just brought in 5 minutes before.
5 damn minutes.
Then as we walked out, the old man came back out and asked for $3 a gay. Again, AGAI. I guess after you saw this man pop out of the hole, you're pretty nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd give him $3.
She's probably posting this in the parking lot. He had a box of cereal. Oh, I got to get it together. He had a box of cereal.
No shit. No shirt. No shit. He had a box of cereal. No shit.
He had a box of cereal. No cereal in it. The air just round and round and round. What does that mean? Was he throwing it in the air?
You missed the line. No shirt.
No shirt but a red hat. Did he still have his work boots? Yeah. Didn't he still have his work boots and knee-high socks with stripes?
It's Fred Durst.
He started running in a tight circle, throwing cereal in the air just round and round and round, looking right at me, yelling, moon-eyed people. Moon-eyed people. My boyfriend and I got our money back, but the manager asked if we would like a king bed instead. No. We got our refund, and the old man came back to us again as we were leaving and asked for quarters. Then he started to circle again. This is inbreeding, dude. This is all it is. Don't screw your sister, please. Then he started to circle again. He was the best part of the trip.
No doubt. This has been the best review in 32 episodes. We've circled back to it.
My boyfriend carefully drove around him to exit the parking lot. A dropped $3. I think she meant I dropped $3. And as we were pulling out, the old man came running up to my window and threw the $3 and screamed. I said, quarters. I said, quarters, bitch.
Yeah, take these dollar bills.
Oh, my God. My boyfriend wanted to stop and punch him, but I was laughing so hard that he looked at me and started laughing his ass off. We left and went to the Days Inn on exit 7. I'm sitting here now 3 hours in a shower later and still feel nasty just by being in the motel. It was disgusting, and the people who live there are sketchy as well. We will not be coming back. We do have a story we'll be telling our grandchildren, LOL. Yes, you do. I'm going to be telling my grandchildren I need to go. Then she says,
I've already told my kids about it.
I had to look up moon-eyed people, and apparently it's a real thing in East Tennessee. Here's what I found on Google.
I thought you said moon pie.
Well, I did say moon pie. I forgot.
Okay.
The moon-eyed people. According to Cherokee legend, long ago before the Cherokee moved into the Smokies, there was a race of small bearded white men who lived in the mountains. Yeah, they're called hillbillies. According to author Julia Montgomery Street, whose tale of this mysterious race is displayed in the Cherokee County Historical Museum, the men possessed all the land between Little Tennessee River to Kentucky, with a little fortification from one end of their domain to the other, so they had forts. The men who lived in round log cabins had large blue eyes, fair white skin, and were sunblind during the day, emerging from their homes only at night to hunt fish, wage war, and build their fortifications. Because they could only see in the dark, the Cherokee called them moon-eyed people. Some believe they were descendants of a small group of Welshmen who came to America long before the Spanish and settled in the Smoky Mountains around 1170. As the legend goes, the moon-eyed people eventually abandoned their home or were driven from it and traveled west, never to be seen again. So,
How far west they go?
it doesn't say.
California?
Well, I think there's some moon-eyeds in California. I think this dude was actually a moon-eyed. The old man.
Honestly, it sounds like Moonshiners. Like that TV show?
Yeah, but then I went and Googled moon-eye, and this is pretty correct.
That's how you ended up on the porn site.
Yeah.
Moon eye.
Well, that was the upside down pineapples that
Moonhole.
I didn't click the porn sites. I just started reading the description of the sites going, oh, yeah.
Probably don't want to click these.
Not with my wife sitting next to me.
Trouble.
And then, of course, I forgot and didn't look at it later with the door locked in the bedroom.
For 10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to Bristol. Bristol is a 0.533 mile oval with 26 to 30 degrees progressive banking. It is a concrete track. It is the 4th largest sports venue in the United States and the 10th largest sporting venue in the world. It will seat 153,000 people. It's owned by SMI. It first opened in 1961. The race is Saturday, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll be able to catch it on USA Networks or PRN Radio. Dude, I did not realize it was that big.
You know, I haven't been there since before they closed up that end. Remember it used to be a grass hill?
No.
Oh.
It's always been. Well, I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I used to be in the seats. You could see outside of it, and then they finished. I think it's turns 3 and 4.
So you haven't been since they put the new lighting seats in?
No.
They have seats now that are so close to the lights, you spend the whole night with these like grasshopper looking things. They're like 6 inches long landing on you because of those bright lights.
That's when you buy those mosquito hats.
You can
Australia.
hear. You're so close to the light bulbs, you can hear them humming. Just and there's no bathrooms up there, so that's a problem when you're drinking beer and you have to pee. You have to walk down to the
Couldn't
lower
you just
section.
go to the very top and pee over the end?
It'd probably evaporate by the time it hit the ground.
Yeah, or create a rainstorm, rain
so
delay.
high up there.
Some
The
official
weepers
going, oh, no, we need to call the stop the race, rain.
The watchers have caught a weeper.
The watchers had caught a weeper.
All right,
TJ Watcher.
TJ Watchers, Brett Peepers. All right, Kyle Busch has 32 starts here, 8 wins and 19 top 10s. Kevin Harvick has 41 starts, 3 wins and 21 top 10s. Denny the Hitman Hamlin has 31 starts, 2 wins and 15 top 10s. Hey, and if you're looking for at least a second place finish, Denny would be your guy to pick this weekend because he has 2 second place finishes in a row. Joey Logano has 25 starts here, 2 wins and 10 top 10s. Kyle Larson has 13 starts, 1 win and 8 top 10s. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, and Brad the Keselowski.
Really?
I don't think Brad will win, but if something crazy happens, and it's crazy's
Brad
happened.
can do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Brad's the guy to be in fourth when 1, 2, and 3 wreck
We
each
haven't
other.
seen the new car on this
And
concrete track either.
Brad's won a few here.
Yeah.
I've seen Brad win here in the 88 and burn out. Like when he drove for Junior Motorsports and do a burnout going up the ramp to get onto the victory lane. It's on top of a building there. I watched Brad burn out the tires going up that ramp. For some reason, it stuck with me. Like I was like, yeah, I like Brad. He's cool. That's a pretty cool thing to do.
So I'm going to go Tyler Reddick
All right.
for my first choice. Then everything else is going to be Toyotas. Hamlin, Busch, and Ty Gibbs. Little Ty.
This is a place Gibbs could do it. I mean, really, if you think about it,
There's our 19th winner.
that's going to be Truex, just not here. Truex's stats here were very sad. It's like
Where do you think he's going to do it at?
3.
Martinsville?
Truex,
Yeah.
possibly, or Dega. Even though his stats there are horrible, I could just see him.
Well, the way he was tearing up after Talladega or Darlington.
Actually, you know who I think is going to win Dega? Cody Ware.
Came close last time.
I watched his in-car camera footage yesterday for a while. Did you see
On the website?
Yeah, on the app, the new NASCAR or the old NASCAR app now has in-car footage of all drivers. So I watched Cody Ware. I figured if I wanted to see a wreck, in-car wreck,
You'd see it from him.
Cody was a good pick.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean,
47's always good.
Yeah.
Wreck house. Spin house.
Also, Ty Dillon is usually a good choice.
Well, he's got his one win for the year.
I think Ross would be a
He's
good.
done. Has he
Ross
ever-
would be a good one. Ty Dillon hasn't won anything.
Yeah.
He didn't even finish in the
It was
top
actually
10.
sad when we went to the museum.
He had barely even had a little second.
Yeah,
It was like
one truck.
It's like an honorable mention.
Yeah. Here's the booby prize.
Yeah, like Austin's.
And it was at the
everywhere.
very end of the tour. It was like,
In the
oh, yeah,
bathroom.
we forgot.
Yeah, like, oh,
Ty won a truck race.
as you walk to the bathroom, like, exit here or walk down here to see Ty's truck. Yeah.
You know, one thing we failed to mention, the All-Star race, we talked about trying to get tickets, but
It is at
North Wilkesboro is what we were a very small part of worked.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if we'll be at the All-Star race. Our plan is to go. If we can get tickets, we'll be there.
But if StubHub's $500 a ticket,
I'm not paying
I ain't
that.
going.
I also want to go to the Bristol night race next year. So, you know, I got to work the funds out correctly to make sure those are possibilities because I've got me and my
We
son.
get more listeners and monetize it.
Well, that would be, yeah.
Because now it's going to races are just a tax deduction because we've made what, $6, $7?
I think we're almost at 7.
Wow.
Wait.
Our goal is to get to like 20 and we'll both go get a Starbucks Slurpee with chocolate chips and coffee in it.
We can go to,
Whatever they're
we
called.
can get some Martinsville hot dogs.
We'd have to go there.
We'd have to pay for that out of pocket. But,
Right.
but the hot dogs would be paid for by the show.
And it's a business trip, so
Yeah,
that is
so it's a write-off.
okay, yeah. We'll have to do that.
All right. I think that's all I got this week. You got anything else?
I'm out of jokes from church.
No more church jokes.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing. You get dirty church jokes, man.
Well, they're not dirty.
Well, they're dirty.
Well, you got to
They're
think
not.
about it.
They're not church dirty. They're just dirty.
You got to think about it.
They'd be dirty in a bar.
Well, you get the humor, though.
Yeah, it's bar.
She was talking about holes 1 and 2, the actual holes, not the holes on her body.
Yeah, I know what she was talking about, and I know what he was talking about, but what I'm saying is those are dirty jokes at a bar. Basically, it's barroom humor at church. So,
But I've never really been a bar person, so how am I going to know?
well, you know it's not a church joke.
But I was told the joke at church.
It doesn't make it a churchy joke.
We weren't in the sanctuary.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does matter. The sanctuary is a holy place.
When you said that just now, it reminded me of that YouTuber, that freebase and cocaine. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, you have. The dude's like, I will not freebase cocaine.
Oh, yeah, the guy from Alabama.
Yeah.
Huh?
What is that? Them good old people down there at
Uh-huh.
Redstone Arsenal down there in Alabama.
Got some cocaine.
Got me off that smoky white devil. I will not freebase cocaine. I mean, unless I'm in traffic and I'm going to be there a while.
Here, I'll close the show
before
we say goodbye with a nasty.
No, we'll just say goodbye. All right. Thanks, everyone who follows the show, shares the show on social media, listens each week. We greatly appreciate every one of you. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and rate us. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple.
Excuse me.
And leave us a review. And check out our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. And we are on YouTube. You got something to say?
That burp was brought to you by Pepsi.
Yeah.
I will accept their money for a sponsorship.
Yeah, no fat chance. You're not Jeff Gordon.
If they could turn loyal Coca-Cola drinkers like us to Pepsi,
that ain't happening.
That would be.
I do a Dr. Pepper now.
That'd be viral.
I do a Dr. Pepper, but I ain't doing
a million hits on the YouTubes.
The YouTuber?
Yeah.
Well, Kyle Busch is going to make his announcement tomorrow. When we find that out, we'll get with Dalton and
we'll call it breaking news, but
hook it up.
Whatever.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Y'all have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to a race car spelled backwards.